Okay, so the first step we're going to do after we're making sure the weapon is clear, we'll always keep in mind safety first, weapon clear. We're going to remove the barrel nut. Now I like to do that first before I remove and loosen anything else to help hold all of this together while I'm on this, because what I'm going to use is an impact wrench. So I'm just going to get on it here. Knocks this right off. If you don't have an impact wrench, there's going to be some Loctite in here, and it could be difficult, very difficult to remove. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is remove the top rail. All that's holding it on is these two screws right here. They could be Loctited in pretty tight. I've actually supplied replacement screws in case you round these out, so you'll have spares. But it's a 2.5 millimeter wrench. Just get on them. Here's one. You can see the amount of Loctite on that. Here. Alright. I think this one's got more Loctite. Alright, then the rail just lifts off. Set it to the side, clean this up a little bit. Now we're ready to remove the front cap. To remove these two pieces here, these are actually captured to the end piece right here. And in the owner's manual they say use a quarter or something similar. What I've got is a big washer. You can get on it, and then I like a washer because if you have to get extra leverage, you can actually wedge it like this. So we're going to try to break them loose. Alright, these aren't that tight. And you have to go even with this. So you turn one and then turn the other, about a half a turn a piece. Then once you go so far, you're going to start feeling resistance. And what's happening is as you're loosening this whole piece is starting to come off of the magazine tube. So you just keep going, about a half a turn on each one, back and forth. You can probably see it moving right here where it's getting farther out. Okay, I think that's it. Yep, you can see some of the residual Loctite from the barrel nut. So now what we have to do is take our two bolts that hold in the end of the magazine tubes and this plastic buffer and move it over to the Beast muzzle extension. So there's several steps involved here. So we'll start with taking the same wrench we took the top rail off with and removing the plastic buffer. Just simply unscrews. Set it to the side for right now. The next thing we'll do is use a set of snap ring pliers that expand, and we want to try to get those snap rings that are down in there and get those out over the bolt, because that's what's retaining those bolts in there. So it's going to take some positioning and moving around and holding your tongue just right. You don't want to squeeze that too far and spring that out, because you'll bend it and permanently damage the snap ring. So there's one. Your bolt falls out. Notice there's a Belleville spring washer right here. You want to make sure you've got that and retain it. So we're just going to do the same thing to the other one here. Swing it around here where I can get to it. Right out. The other one falls out. So that's everything. We're done with this piece, and we'll reassemble it to the Beast. Now, just a reverse operation. We're going to drop one down in the Beast right there, and we're going to have to hold it up because we got to get that spring or the retaining clip all the way down in the groove. This will be the hardest part of the entire installation. Alright, there's one. Same thing, drop this down in here. The spring goes under the head of the bolt, just like a washer. Hold it. Get your snap ring. Again, don't squeeze too hard on that. You'll bend that out, and it'll be disabled. It won't work anymore. Get it started. Okay, so that's both of those. Make sure that your bolts don't fall back out. You can't push them. Your springs look evenly closed there. We're going to take this, put it in this hole in the very back. This flat side with the notch rests there, so you're going to have this little boss will be pointed out. And then just screw this back on. Now you do have to watch, this is a fine thread machine screw threading into plastic. So you can strip it easily. So as soon as you feel it start to get tight, quit. Right there, just barely snug, and you stop. So now you've got all the parts from the factory piece transferred over to the Beast. Now we can assemble this back onto the gun. Okay, now we're ready to install the Beast onto the KSG itself. It's just a matter of getting it started over the actual muzzle through the hole here. And then once the screws that we just put in reach the magazine tubes, we've got to then screw them back on. Now, you won't be able to get in there with a washer, so if you have a really big flathead screwdriver or a pair of needle nose pliers maybe in a washer where you can do something like this. It's probably too big to fit in there, but maybe something smaller. But I just use a big screwdriver. You just got to get it started. Okay, I think I got one started there. That one. And then you just want to kind of go even, about a half a turn or so on each one. Just working it over. If you go too far on one, what you're going to do is you're going to put stress on that spring clip that we just put on, and you could pop it back off. So you don't want to do that. Alright. Got them both tight right there. If you want to make sure that your nut, this backing nut, is up against the Beast, and you're not seeing any more dirt where the old piece was, the back side of this will end up exactly where the old piece was. Now, instead of using the nut, what you need to do is you need to run your choke adapter now. So if you get your choke adapter, we're going to screw that onto the muzzle. It's a really fine thread, so it takes quite a bit of turning. Again, get on it with your by hand or your impact. give it a hit. So this is all tight now. It's good to go. If you've got a choke, you go ahead and stick your choke in it. Again, I've got my 5-cent choke wrench here. Chokes in. Alright, we're done screwing everything on. So now we've got the Beast all put on. We're going to install the top rail. Simply lay it on there. Remember, T1 is in the back, T30 is at the front. Now you can, if you didn't damage your screws that you took out, you can reinstall them. Now with any of these screws that you've removed, if you want to clean the old Loctite off and reuse Loctite, you can. I don't, but that's just a personal thing. You can do it if you want. Just a matter of screwing these back down. And that's it. We've got a completed Beast muzzle extension installation now. Now you can add any M-LOK accessories you'd like to. Use the QD sling and make all your friends jealous. This is a completed installation for the Beast muzzle device from GearHeadWorks. It's our newest part. Really excited about it. Remember, it's Type 3 hard coat anodized. Got your limited rotation QD swivel, M-LOK slots, pain compliance standoff device all in one piece. Plus it looks badass. Thanks for watching.